The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of restrictive content warning or any sort of warning as to what may be in the game. From what I have played so far, it doesn't seem to have anything worrisome in terms of age-restrictive content. So if I were to guess, if it were to have an ESRB rating, I would say most likely it would be rated E for everyone. So following that guess, and having never completed the game, I can't say exactly the whole of it just from my experience, but I would say that anyone under the age of 6 should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Autonauts. So the premise of Autonauts is that you take on the role of a colony builder for your people, and you've been sent to an alien world all by yourself to, well, basically build a colony, fill it with colonists, and take care of their physical and, I guess, mental well-beings. And while you can chop down every tree and gather every rock and stick and bushel of grain to serve as your resources to build every tool and food item and bit of shelter that you need for a thriving colony, it can get rather complex and overwhelming for one person. And that's just at the beginning of the game when things are still simple and haven't gone all complex-like. However, you don't actually need to do everything in the colony because you can build an entire army of programmable robots to do all of the heavy lifting, menial tasks, and repetitive tasks for you. Well, if you remember from last episode, I unlocked the ability to get the second generation robots. And if you also remember from that episode, it unlocked a certification to build 100 robots. A certification that auto-completed because I had well over 100 robots by that point. So yeah, it can get quite large. And speaking of last episode, if you haven't seen it yet, I was in the process of moving all of my farmland from the old farms to the new farms, as well as upgrading all of the farmers from the basic bots that were still working the old fields to the newer bots, to the Mark 1 bots, I should say. I haven't actually started Mark 2 production. I want to get one generation out of the way before I start building their grandchildren. Because it's difficult enough to keep track of 2 generations of robots, I don't want to add a third into the list. Well, as things are expanding, I plan on basically using the old farmland for other industries, mainly building better and more advanced tools, probably a bigger robot facility to account for the Mark II robots. Because if the Mark 1 robots were more complex than the basic bots, I can only imagine how more complex the Mark II ones are. Which means more industrial lines for their parts, which means more resource production lines to make said parts, which means more resource production, which means more robots. You can kind of see how things snowball from there. But as complex and as snowbally as things get, it's still fun, and so I keep playing. And as such, this game is of course made by... Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Alright, so here we are at the colony. No, I have yet to give it an official name, but this is the new farmland. As you can see, I have... The weed farms have been growing, well, constantly. Don't read too much into that. They've actually maxed out their weed production. They've also maxed out this weed production. Why did they max out all the weed production? I mean, apples are maxed out. I'm out of berries. I'm out of mushrooms. True. But there's still apple and... I mean, yeah, I'm kind of out of pumpkins as well. What are you carrying? Oh. So yeah, weed production has maxed out because large number of the resources that I'm using to make things has also, well, basically collapsed. So if this is maxed out, why are you waiting? I'm assuming since this is the guy actually making the spiced apples, I'm assuming... Well, he's probably waiting for people to be hungry. Right. Okay, then. That explains two of the backlogs. Well, one of the backlogs. I mean, I know why I'm not getting any berries and... No, berry storage is full. I mean, mushroom storage is, well, looks like this. I had planned on restarting it once all the mushrooms are planted, but there's still a little under a quarter of the field still left. It doesn't explain why berries aren't moving along, though. Did the resource guy hauling berries just power out? Interesting. Anyway, so these are the old fields, and I have plans for them. This is a multiple stacks of turf, which is being made from the new fields. Yeah. This is coal, which I have yet to find a use for. Probably in the next tier of technologies. And I had planned on making... There isn't enough room up here to fit another field. So 2 fields for here, and I have weeds at these 2, berries and mushrooms. And this was supposed to be pumpkins, and then of course apples here. And I should probably reprogram the new apple pickers to actually harvest apples. I should move the apple box to the other thingy. Down here, so that way the logicians can, well, pull from here. And then I said pumpkins were going to be here, and then carrots and coconuts if I ever actually get around to them. And I made this episode, but the running joke is I keep saying that I will, and then I don't. And then I'll have wheat and cotton and 2 fields for other things. Alright, so plenty to do, very little to actually get it done on. So let's just get started. And the first thing that I want to do, because I hadn't finished it last episode, is to basically restart up and remove the, not remove, but move the apple fields from here, well, from here I should say, to here. So I moved the apple storage, so now everybody hauling apples will bring it down here, as well as the logician. And I wonder if, because they're farther away, they're not actually getting supplies as fast. I mean, mushrooms I can understand, because again, they're not actually collecting the mushrooms just yet. They are just simply planting them so that way the field gets filled. And there's actually like a whole chunk right here that still needs to be dug out and then replanted. It's a working process, and one that probably will never actually get caught up to. But I try. Anyway, apples. So, move my character down here, wherever he is. No. Okay. I say, does this actually tell me his location? The answer is not really. Oh, there he is. Anyway. Right, now I just got to remember how to do this, because the last time I set up an apple orchard, it was these guys, and, yeah. Anyway, to the Autonautopedia. I'm looking for resources. I need food, apples. Oh, here we are, apples. So, I basically take a wooden mallet and beat a tree to death for apples. Got it. So, I have how many bots here? I got the one recharging bot. Should actually be two here. It's a basic bot building field borders. Mark 16 and 17. Well, mark 1-116 and 117. This is 118 here. There should actually be a second recharger. Every field, well, every industry should have two rechargers. Can I not make one? Where's the bot list? I have 184 robots right now. Alright, so 199, 1-100, 1-101, and 1-102 are all here. One Trunty's part of the Mushmen. I didn't actually assign these guys teams, did I? Should be chronological, and the unassigned bots stop at 102. Oh, here they are. Okay, so 119 is actually over by the grain field, the old grain field, because I just programmed him how to recharge a bot, and where is his... Oh yeah, there it is there. I'm looking at the wrong fields, like, why can't I see his search area here? It's up here, that's why. It's just he doesn't have anybody to recharge on, so there's that. Anyway, so we'll start with 116. Stop, record. Come over here. That's not part of the thing. Drop what you're holding, and just get rid of all of this. Keep the loops, because I kind of need the loops. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and grab a mallet. Should have grabbed my personal mallet, wherever it went. Let me guess, lumber storage is filled again. Okay. Alright, now that we have a mallet, I'll put that there. Where is the bot I'm teaching? Right, so he saw that from like half the colony away. Anyway, you grab this. Just gonna grab one for myself because I feel like it. And then we're going to come over here and attack a tree. Alright, so you're going to, in the do until hands empty loop, you're going to find a tree in this 15 by 15 area. And you're going to move to the fruit tree, and then you're going to use a mallet. And once the mallet breaks, your hands are empty. You're going to move to wooden mallet storage and take a new mallet. Now go. Alright, as for you, we're once again going to come over here. Right, he's not actually recording yet. Okay. So we're going to come record over here. And he's actually planting apples, so apples don't need to be constantly replanted, so I don't need you to do that. So, yeah. Going to empty your hands. I'm just going to accidentally got rid of a loop. Oops. Do this until hands full. So you're going to go around and pick up an apple. I said pick up an apple. Going to go around and pick up an apple. You're going to look for apples in this 17 by 7, or yeah, 17 by 17 area. It's a little bit taller than I would have liked. There we go. Just in case apples fall outside the field. And you're going to do you're going to do this until your hands are empty, and then you're going to drop them off here. You can do all of that until question mark filled, question mark being apple storage. I'm going to do all of that forever. And speaking of doing all of that forever, I'm going to stop for a second, and I'm going to just program just the slightest until to account for the full mushroom box. No, we're not going to count for the full mushroom box. Hang on. I'm going to expand this a little bit. Till apple storage is full. I'm going to do that forever. Now go. Just so that way he stops just wailing away on the apple trees until somebody comes and picks up more apples. Okay, so I did select the right one. And these guys are still dropping off because I forgot to stop them. I think the one digging the holes is out of power for the pumpkins. That would kind of explain why the field's, well, empty. Anywho, alright, so all of the older fruit flyers seem to have their batteries out. It's kind of hard to see because I put the turf towers in front of them, and, well, yeah, they're out of power. Anyway. So that's the apple industry now set up and ready to go, and I would have made more apple store. Well, I would have had built more bots to harvest more apples, but apple storage is kind of maxed out. At least down by the field. I may actually need more logicians to haul everything around. Because stuff just isn't getting to where it needs to go. Okay, so who's the berry logician? Where are you? No, you're just moving... Yeah, you are moving berries from storage 3 to storage 6. So berries are being collected and they are being moved. And they're being used as fast as they're being collected. So I'm probably definitely going to need more bots to actually, well, handle all the stuff. Alright, so in the meantime, just moving his search location over here so that way he can start putting turf here, and then I just pick up this stick. And then once I manage to clear out this field, I can use it for pumpkins. Also, I should probably have them start making the last 2 fields just because I can. Alright, so you're the recharger. I'm going to move your search area up to here. Guy's collecting the turf for, well, these 2 areas. I mean, these 2 towers are the smallest, so I'm assuming... Alright, I just dropped an apple somewhere and I'm probably never going to find it again. Oh well. I'll just set up new towers here. Okay, and then these new towers, new tower for this one will be, I mean, right here, I guess. Okay, so the final 2 fields, well, what I hope will be the final 2 fields, although I'm fairly certain it won't be the final 2 fields I ever build, are currently being produced here. So now I just got to clean up the existing remaining 4 fields and actually plant things on them. Alright, and you're actually out of power. I should probably rewind the old fruit flyer bots so that way they can, well, be used for other things. I need you to stop real quick and drop what you're holding, because where's my axe? Drop my scythe real quick. Just gonna drop my scythe real quick and pick up my axe. So you're going to come over here and pick up this axe. And take that. And then rather than finding nearest fruit tree and hitting it with a mallet to get fruit, you're just gonna chop everything down. Alright. Because it reads apple storage is filled. It's not doing anything, so just remove that loop and just chop everything down. And once he's done that, I can have somebody dig up the stumps and then fill all the holes and recover it back up with turf, and then I'll have extra room to do other things. And speaking of having extra room to do other things, where is the mushman? need you to empty your hands. Just stop. I need you to empty your hands. This is what I need you to do. So we're getting rid of that loop. And these. Move this over here. Do the following until hands are full. You're going to go to one of these massive towers of turf. Now, I don't really care where the turf comes from. No, not 71. So in this 7x7 area, that encompasses multiple towers, going to come up over here and pick up the turf. You're going to move to the turf, and then you're going to pick up the turf, and then you're going to come back over to your old field and cover it back up with turf. See, this is the reason why I want to keep some turf on hand. You never know when it could be useful. And as far as I know, I can't actually make turf. Do this until hands empty. Do all of that forever. Now go. Alright, so he should eventually basically fill up the entire field. Just going to pick up his old shovel. I'm going to put his old shovel back in storage so somebody else can use it. He's actually running low on battery power. Probably not the wisest of decisions, but oh well. And he's out of power now. Right in a spot where I don't have a recharger for him. Oh well. Alright, so that's the mushrooms field being removed. Where are the berry pickers? Or the berrymen? And for you, because you're at the top of the list, you get to do the same. Move it so that way encompasses several towers of turf. I'm going to come over here and, well, fill in your field now. Do all this until hands are empty. Do that forever. Now go. Okay, so these two fields will eventually be reclaimed. And I completed basic textile and clothing research. So now I get... I don't even know how to pronounce this. Sugegasa? Sugegasa. I'm fairly certain I'm mispronouncing that. I also get a knitted beanie, a toga, a tunic, a poncho, cotton thread, bulrush thread, standard thread. I don't know what makes standard thread if cotton and bulrush thread are two different things. Cotton cloth, bulrush cloth, a wool blanket, a crude clothing station, a spinning wheel, and a threshing machine. Alright, and all these new tools. So the spinning wheel has to be built on floor and surrounded by walls. The crude clothing station does not. And, so the threshing machine is considered a wonder, but no, it's miscellaneous. And it needs to be built on floors, so I basically need to start building actual physical buildings as opposed to just having random, workstations out in the middle of the ground. Why are there a bunch of tree stumps right here? Weird. Anyway. Alright, so I got a feeling that the guys digging up the mushroom men, the new mushroom men, aren't ever going to actually fully fill up this field. So you know what? One 38 is a charger. 103 is digging the holes to plant the mushrooms. You're also digging holes to plant mushrooms. You're the other recharging bot. Alright, so you're actually digging up the mushrooms. So I'm going to have you stop for now. And also, you stop for now, because I got whole piles of mushrooms just sitting on the ground. And I don't know if it's enough to actually cover every area of the field, but I'll find out. And since I broke the chain, they're no longer digging up the old mushrooms, so now, hopefully, any new holes that get dug up and planted with, the mushrooms stay. And eventually, this field will be filled. And I know I don't technically need to have the industry producing mushrooms with a full field. It's just, I like to think it looks neater and better looking and all that fun stuff. Let's move this stick out of the way. Same with this tree seed, which is technically an acorn, I know. And this random log. Just move the search area a little bit further around. And because this isn't repetitive, I'll just do it myself. Take axe, chop down tree. Z. Trees as in plural. Then we dig up the stumps. And then we fill in the holes. And then he puts turf down. And then we change his search criteria. Wrong one, search criteria. Cover the missing gap. There we go. He goes to pick up more turf, and then he'll be on his way. And the shovel broke. Perfect timing, I guess. Just move all these logs off to the side. I said move all these logs off to the side. That's a stick. Grab the log anyway. All the old shovels that I haven't been using. And now I need to go grab a new one. And when I say I haven't been using, I mean the guys. And then dig up this thing of wildflowers. Alright, now how many bots do I have? What used to be growing pumpkin? Alright, now I'm going to need a whole bunch more bots. Let me rewind you. I'm going to need a whole bunch more bots. No, I forgot to grab the battery upgrades. Gotta remember which button I gotta use to install the batteries. Anyway. I'll put you here for now. I'm gonna assemble these 4 bots first, and then I'll have them take over the pumpkin duties. how many pumpkin pickers do I have? So I got, that's a recharging bot. I got one hitting pumpkins with wooden mallets. I got one taking up the raw pumpkin and shoving it into pumpkin storage. I have one robot digging up holes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. He just ran out of power. Another one digging up holes. One of them scything pumpkins, and he's actually out of power. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 6th recharger. And 7 is dealing with pumpkin seeds. And the 8th one is also dealing with pumpkin seeds. He's planting pumpkins. The other one is shoving pumpkins and the pumpkin seeds into storage. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 robots just for the pumpkins. So, rather complex thing. So, what I'm going to have you do is going to have each and every one of you just stop what you're doing. Right, and 2 of those robots were rechargers, so I'm going to need 3 more standard Mark 1 bots. Alright, and then I'm going to need 2 variants for the recharging bots. Alright, so I guess the first thing I should do is put infrastructure in place. So you, Mark 1-128, get to come over here and recharge this guy. So you're going to find a bot in this 17 by 17 area. I'm going to move to that said uncharged bot and recharge them. I'm going to do that forever. Now go. Of course, he's not actually going to go because, well, there's no bots needing to recharge there. Anyway, you get to do the exact same thing. Alright, and we're going to do a slight interlude. By interlude, I mean intermission with that whole plan. Now, I can't even get access to this bot. Which one are you? Well, it's 0-21. Looks to be not part of the Stonecutters Guild. What other team is purplish? Here we are. 1-21. And I can't actually get to the... Okay, where's his recharging bot? No, actually, you're not. Stop. Because I can't seem to get to him because he's in the middle of a pile of turf. So I'm going to have one of these rechargers do it for me. Go. Now, as for you guys, you're the recharger bot for this area. Right, so you need to empty your hands. what I want you to do. You're going to come over here and pick up a shovel. Okay, is he actually here yet? I don't even know where he is. Oh, there he is. Take that. I'm going to come over here and dig up these stumps. Just adjusting his program slightly, and then go. And then you get to fill in the holes. And go. Oh, that axe is almost broken. Anyway, shove it back into storage. Same with this mallet. Alright, now where was I? Oh yes. The new pumpkins. So I need pumpkin pickers. First guy is a recharging bot. So, much like everything else, it always boils down to first thing you need to do is dig holes. So, you know what? Rather than doing it numerically, I'll just work it with whoever's at the bottom of the pile. It's easier to see. You take this shovel, and then come with me. What I need you to do is you're going to come over here and dig a hole. So will be dug in this 15 by 15 area, and you will do that until your hands are empty. At which point, I'm going to come back over here and grab a new shovel. And someone's out of power. You have to do all of that until question mark storage is filled, being raw pumpkin storage. Going to do all of that forever. Now go. And he's not doing anything because raw pumpkin storage is filled. Okay. I mean, he'll get to it eventually. I think. I don't know. Right, and then the next guy on the list, come with me. You are going to be grabbing pumpkin seeds for planting of the pumpkins. We're going to do this until the hands are full. We're going to come over here and plant until hands empty. And I still have shovels. Okay. Glad I was holding the spare shovel. Wrong button. No, I actually completely forgot I have storages of turf inside the towers of turf. Forgot about that completely. Anyway, now that I have a seed, I'm going to come over here and plant it. I'm going to do that in this 15 by 15 area. I'm going to do that until hands empty. And you're going to do that forever. Now go. In fact, I'm actually going to get rid of this until raw pumpkin storage is filled loop. Just so that way he starts digging holes. And he'll keep digging holes until, well, there's no more holes to dig. And then he'll keep planting pumpkins until there's no more pumpkins to dig. So, those two won't be dependent upon whether or not raw pumpkin storage is filled. What will be dependent upon whether raw pumpkin storage is filled is harvesting the pumpkins and whacking them on top and whacking them to break them apart. Which, don't I need a scythe for that? Yeah, it's pumpkin crop and then use scythe. Not just like random pile of tools just sitting everywhere. Right, and that's fully grown. Alright, so now where did I put this scythe production? Oh, now that's hoes. There's scythes. You take this scythe and then you come with me. What I want you to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to scythe this pumpkin. You're going to do that in this 15 by 15 area. You're going to do this until hands empty, at which point you're going to come back and grab another scythe. Right, you're going to do this until question mark is filled, question mark being raw pumpkin storage, because this one is dependent upon whether or not I have space, and you're going to do that forever. Now go. Alright, and then I believe I need a mallet to whack the pumpkins to break, to make raw pumpkins and pumpkin seeds. So you're going to take this mallet and then I'm going to put down my scythe in my pile of tools and then grab my mallet. And then you're going to come with me, you're going to come over here and whack this pumpkin. Wait, is pumpkin storage empty now? Oh, it kind of is, actually. Interesting, so then why aren't these pumpkins being scythed? Weird. Anyway, I'll deal with that once I get this set up. And you're going to do that in this 15 by 15 area. I'm going to do this until your hands are empty, at which point you're going to come back and grab a new mallet. I'm going to do all of this until question mark is filled, question mark being once again raw pumpkin storage. And do that forever. Now go. And the other two are going to be right, because right now it's just pick up seeds and pick up raw pumpkin. Why do I have 3 bots to spare? Oh, I'll find out whether or not I actually need spare bots. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to grab this raw pumpkin. And you're going to do this in the 17 by 17 area, just in case they fall out of bounds. You're going to do this until your hands are full, at which point you are going to come over here and drop it off at raw pumpkin storage. going to do this until your hands are empty. I'm going to do all of this forever. Now go. I think I know why these pumpkins aren't being scythed. I turned everybody off. So you keep whacking pumpkins. You keep scything pumpkins if there are any more pumpkins to scythe. And then you collect the raw pumpkin. Probably not too worried about seeds because I got plenty of seeds and seed storage, and you know, these guys will be making seeds anyway. So next bot, you get to come here and pick up the seed. And I forgot I have him record. So you're going to come over and pick up this pumpkin seed in this 17 by 17 area that will eventually be settled on the field. I'm going to do this until your hands are full, and at which point you're going to drop them off at pumpkin seed storage. And at which point you're going to do this until your hands are empty, and you're going to do all of this until question mark is filled, question mark being filled being pumpkin seed storage. I don't know, it seems like a good idea at the time. And do that forever. Now go. And then I rewind you, because I guess I turned off the recharger bot as well. So then, question now becomes, now what? Because, I mean, these guys are now done building the 2 remaining fields for the most part, so I guess that's good. And what was I going to do with this spare bot? I do not actually remember. Also, move the storages from the old field to the new. Put seed storage there, and raw pumpkin storage there. Alright, should be good. Alright, and they're getting like 1 line of pumpkins in before they get recycled. But hopefully eventually they'll max out and then they'll stop, and then, you know, more pumpkins will grow. And if not, then the field stays mostly fallow, I guess. Anyway, let's move can I actually move these in a group? Can I do that? No, it does not look like I can do that. But rewind you. Just move everybody off to the pumpkin pickers. Except 1-117 because I apparently built him not realizing I didn't actually need him for the job. Or I missed a step and I'll eventually need him for the job. Alright, and apparently I did not include the new recharging bots in the fruit flyers. No, actually his charging area is over there. Why is he over here then? I don't get it. That's not my place to get, so. Alright, well I'm definitely done building fields, so. Also, they dug up all the holes, but they don't have any mushrooms to fill them with, so. Where are the mushmen again? Here we are. You go back to work. And you go back to work. We'll see if they can fill up this field, and if they can't fill up the field, then, well, I mean, I gotta get the mushmen working the mushmen producing mushrooms for storage somehow. With any luck, by the time they dig up a mushroom or 3, the guys planting them will be able to... Basically, they'll fill in more holes faster than they can dig them back up. Especially if they run out of power. But that remains to be seen. Alright. I think I know what I'm going to have this guy do. He is going to help dig holes. Gonna need a shovel, though. And I'm just gonna rewind you. And then you come with me. And you're going to dig holes here. Hopefully digging twice the amount of holes will eventually get the field dug. And he's not recording, is he? No, he's not. Okay, fine. Start recording, and then come over here. I'm going to find the nearest soil in this 15 by 15 area. I'm going to do this until your hands are empty. At which point, I'm going to come back over here and grab a new shovel. Where is there a boulder just sitting here? I mean, seriously, why is there just a boulder just sitting here? I remember it always being there. Anyway, you're going to do all of this forever. Now go. Can I pick this boulder up? No, I can't. Okay. Alright, so that's... And then you go with the pumpkin pickers, and the old fruit flyers. Here again, the recharging bot. You are filling the holes. So what I want you to do is I want you to stop, empty your hands. This is what you're going to do. You're going to come over here and you're going to grab some turf. Going to keep grabbing turf in this 11 by 11 area until your hands are full, and then you're going to... No, actually, hang on. Wrong area. 7 by 7 area, and then you're going to find the nearest soil in this 11 by 11 area, and then you're just going to plant everything until your hands are empty. We're going to do all of that forever. Now go. Eventually, much like these two fields, it'll eventually get refilled in. And I should do that the same for this pumpkin field. Your extra charging bot. So then you empty your hands. And set everything here. I mean, it'll get done eventually if I use one. It'll get done faster if I use multiple bots, but I don't feel like reprogramming multiple bots for something that isn't going to be a massively continuous thing. Just move this over here so it counts for more towers. I'm just going to come over here and just plant. In this 11 by 11 area. Do that forever. Now go. Take this mallet and put it back. And now that I think about it, I never did recover up the old weed farm. Don't read too much into that. I'm gonna rewind him or not? I'm going to have you do, so the next pumpkin plucker. You're actually storing raw pumpkin. There's still some raw pumpkin up here, so I'll leave you be. But this next one, you empty your hands. Get rid of all of this as well. Come over here and grab this some turf over here. You're going to come over here and plant it. Now this field isn't 11 by 11. I think it's actually a 15 by 15 field, but I could be mistaken about that. No, it's an 11 by 11 field. My apologies. Do that forever. Now go. Now I am going to have to keep an eye on this guy because there's no recharging bot for over here. So if he runs out of power anywhere between what passes for the main road and the field I'm having him fill in, no one's going to be recharging him. It's like a random shovel right here. Why is there a random shovel like right here? No, I'll probably have the answer to that eventually. Now then. Guess all I got to do is to move the wheat. Of course, before I move the wheat, I should probably set up a usage for the actual wheat. Otherwise, they're just going to be making more cereal crops and have no place to put them. So I guess the first thing I should do in that regard is build another... Nope, that's the Autonautopia. I need to build another food cooking pot. Food mixing pot. You go here. Alright. And I need 6 planks and a pole. Pole storage is actually looking slightly empty. That's kind of worrisome, but I think that's more to do with the fact that the guy making poles is, well, has been unpowered for God knows how long. Because I thought there was a recharger up here, and apparently there isn't. Apparently there's quite a few robots right here that aren't powered. I wonder I'm having logistical issues. Alright, that's the crude mixing pot. We then upgrade it to the crude cooking pot, which means I need 4 clay, 4 sticks, and a crude torch. And believe it or not, they actually maxed out everything for the clay. So I'm just going to help myself to 4 clay right out of the box. And I need 4 sticks from generic stick storage. And I also need a crude torch, which I actually have to make, because I don't have anybody making those. So I'm going to need 1 more stick. Where'd crude sticks, common stick storage go? It's right here, at least I'm assuming it's right here. If not, then I'm pulling from the fuel line. And I'm going to need 4 things of straw, which also comes from the grain field, but it's a byproduct as opposed to the thing I would actually use the field for. And a torch has been made. Toss that over. Right, and a crude mixing pot has been made. So, watery porridge, well, creamy porridge needs milk, which I don't have access to cows just yet. I also have mushroom soup, stewed berries, spiced apples, fish soup, which I don't have anybody fishing for, herby pumpkin, more sashimi, herb mushrooms, watery porridge, but that actually requires fresh water. I don't actually have anybody collecting fresh water. And then carrot stir fry, cream porridge again, herby pumpkin, spiced berries, and spiced apples. So I'm going to have him make watery porridge because I don't have anybody making milk. Thing is, I don't know if he actually needs fuel for this. I say that like there's supposed to be a bot here doing this, and there's no bot here doing this, so... I also need a source of fresh water, which I have right here, but I have no way of storing water, because I never bothered to look that up. So, food. Watery porridge. Where do I get water from? A crude bucket. And fresh water. Where do I store it, though? Oh, it goes in a barrel. Okay. I think I can make barrels. Oh, wrong button. Anyway, storage. Barrels. I need 10 planks and 4 poles. Okay, cool. We should have these divisible by 4. Makes things easier, but then again, was easy, it wouldn't be fun. I need 4 poles. I think I can add to the barrels if there's stuff in there. So you know what, I'll just make 1 barrel. Apparently I already had a barrel in storage because I just made 2 barrels. So, you know, rather than making 2 extra barrels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the plan for this one off here for now, and then move this barrel over here, and then these plans for these barrels over here. Right, that's already 3. Put you down here, and then stick 2 more plans on top. And I gotta remember, once I'm done setting this up, to build another Build-A-Bot and have him build these barrels, if they're smart enough to actually do so. In the meantime, I'm going to need 3 bots. 4 bots. Do I have spare silo storage? No, I do not, so we're actually gonna have to make that. Do I need to make it? 4 poles, 6 planks, and 2 logs. Right, this is why I need more room. Just gonna put you there for now. Put 1 line of... Move you over 1, and then set you right there. Just there's 1 line of space in between here and there. And I just grabbed a head, so 2 more heads. Right, do I have anybody making buckets? I just realized that. No, because it's not a tool I've ever actually had to use much of. So I'm really going to have to build up this infrastructure, because not only do I need 3 robots, 1 to gather the water, 1 to take the water from here and dump it here, because that's how I operate. And then 1 robot, I actually would need 4 robots, to take the cereal seeds to this storage, in which a 4th robot now would then make turn into watery porridge. In addition to that, I need a 5th robot to start making buckets. Can I make buckets from basic storage, from basic workbenches? It's a backpack. Still have no idea what the scooter's for. I mean, I personally, the character can't personally use it. Okay, so buckets are actually made from the good workbench, so I have to build a good workbench, which I don't think is an easy feat. I mean, yeah, it requires 4 logs, 4 planks, 4 balls, and 2 stones. It's also, twice as long. So I need to build a crude workbench. I need to build storage for buckets, which, I technically already have. At that point, I then need to get a robot to build the buckets for the bot getting water from the lake here and dumping in the barrel, and for the logician to come here and then dump it over here. And I don't think they can carry more than 1 bucket at once, so it's basically a one-time thing. So I may need multiple logicians hauling multiple things of water, because unlike any other type of ingredient for food, they can't carry multiple at a time. Alright, so I need a bot to build that, to build the buckets, a bot to get the water from the lake to this barrel, another bot to get from this barrel to this barrel, a 4th bot to take the cereal seeds from here to up here, which isn't even built yet, and then a 5th bot to actually turn everything. I'll turn the water and the cereal seeds. Oh, I also need clay pots. So I'm going to need a 6th bot to take the clay pots from here to store them somewhere over here. And I need more room to do all of this in. Actually, no, that's not true. The clay pot storage is right here. But, and then I need somebody to to gather all of these and to make watery porridge, which then gets stored somewhere not yet defined. And then I'm going to need a 6th bot to basically feed all the colonists the watery porridge. And then, after building all of that, and another half dozen bots to do all of that, I will finally have a use for cereal seeds. At which point, cereal seed storage will be emptied. At which point, these guys should start harvesting this field again. At which point, I can start planting cereal crops here and not have to worry, or one of these unused fields, and not have to worry about a full storage. So I basically have to build an entirely new industry just to empty this one storage. Should be fun. However, all of that is going to have to wait until next time, because I am going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.